Dracula. What if the total solar eclipse never ended? The day the sun never returned. Prologue. The last sunrise. On the 12th day of August, all Europe looked toward the sun. Kings stood upon palace balconies. Scientists crowded around their telescopes. Children held pieces of blackened glass above their faces and waited for the moon to pass before the light. For 2 minutes, the world would become dark. That was what the astronomers had promised. In London, men abandoned their offices and women gathered upon rooftops. The streets surrounding Greenwich Observatory were packed with carriages, vendors, journalists, and curious families. Even the poorest laborers paused beneath the chimneys, lifting soot-stained faces toward the heavens. At Whitby, fishermen watched from the cliffs. In Paris, café tables were dragged into the streets. In Spain, thousands had traveled to witness the path of totality. Across the northern seas, ships lowered their sails as though preparing for a storm. For one day, all humanity shared the same anticipation. In the ruins of Carfax Abbey, Count Dracula opened his eyes before the eclipse had even begun. He did not rise to witness the disappearance of the sun. He rose to make certain it never returned. The chamber beneath the abbey had once been a chapel. Its altar was cracked, its saints defaced, its stones blackened by centuries of damp. Upon the floor Dracula had drawn 3 circles in blood, one from a king, one from a priest, and one from a child born during an eclipse. At the center stood an iron basin filled with soil from Transylvania. Around it burned 13 candles. Their flames were black. Dracula wore no cloak. His garments were simple and ancient, resembling those of a warrior buried beneath a forgotten fortress. Across his bare chest were scars that no living physician could have explained. Above him, daylight entered through a narrow fracture in the ceiling. The Count watched that pale blade of light with hatred. For centuries it had ruled him. It had forced him into coffins, cellars, crypts, and ruined castles. It had divided every day into hours of imprisonment and hours of hunger. Men called him Lord of the Night, yet every morning the dawn reminded him that half the world remained beyond his reach. He had conquered death. He had conquered time. He had conquered fear in the hearts of men. But he had never conquered morning. Until now. The light narrowed. Far above Carfax, people began to cheer. The moon touched the edge of the sun. Dracula lowered one hand into the basin of earth. With the other, he held a shard of polished silver in which the shrinking sun was reflected. "The age of man was measured by light," he whispered. "Let mine have no measure." As the moon advanced, the city changed. Shadows sharpened, colors faded, the air cooled. Pigeons returned to their roosts and dogs began to howl. A hush moved across London, not silence exactly, but the sound of millions holding their breath. At Greenwich, Professor Edwin Harcourt stood beside the great telescope and called out the final seconds. 10, 9, 8. The remaining arc of sunlight collapsed into a brilliant white jewel. 3, 2, 1. The sun vanished. Night fell at noon. A black circle hung in the heavens, surrounded by a crown of silver fire. Stars appeared above London. The horizon burned orange in every direction. People shouted, laughed, prayed, and wept. At Carfax Abbey, the final blade of light disappeared from the chamber. Dracula lifted the silver shard. Within it, the blackened sun trembled. He closed his fist. The mirror broke. Every candle went out. For one perfect moment, there was no sound in the chamber except the beating of the Count's heart. Then something answered from beneath the earth. A deep vibration passed through the stones. Dust fell from the ruined arches. The iron basin cracked, and the Transylvanian soil drank the blood surrounding it. Dracula smiled. 2 minutes passed. At Greenwich, Professor Harcourt prepared to announce the first return of sunlight. Nothing happened. 3 minutes passed. Then 4. The black circle remained. A murmur spread through the crowd. Harcourt checked the clock. His assistant checked the calculations. Another astronomer pushed him aside and looked through the telescope. "The moon has moved," the assistant said. "That is impossible." "It has moved. I can see its position against the stars." "Then the photosphere should be visible." "It is not." 5 minutes. 6. 7. The silver corona still burned around in absolute darkness. The cheering stopped. Across London, church bells began to ring. In the underground chapel at Carfax, Dracula climbed the steps. He passed through the ruined nave and reached the outer door. For the first time in centuries, he opened a door at noon without fear. Outside, London lay beneath the black sun. The Count stepped into the middle of the road. A woman saw him and crossed herself. A horse reared, tearing free from its carriage. Somewhere in the city, a child began to scream. Dracula raised his face to the darkened heavens. The moon continued upon its appointed path, but the shadow stayed behind. Chapter 1. Noon without a sun. At first, London treated the prolonged eclipse as an inconvenience. People remained on rooftops and in public squares, waiting for the sunlight to return. Vendors relit their lamps and doubled the price of candles. Newspaper boys shouted contradictory explanations composed by editors who knew nothing. Unusual celestial delay. Scientists assure public no danger. Darkness to end within the hour. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the city remained beneath the black sun. By 5, the temperature had fallen enough for people to see their breath. By 7, crowds gathered outside Greenwich Observatory, demanding an answer. Professor Harcourt gave none. Through every instrument available to him, the moon appeared to be exactly where it ought to be, far beyond the sun's western edge. Yet when observed by the naked eye or through ordinary smoked glass, the black disk remained fixed in place. It was not the moon they were seeing. It was the memory of its shadow. Mina Harker stood at the window of her home in Exeter and watched her husband light the lamps. Jonathan's hands shook as he struck the match. "It may be local," he said, "a disturbance of the atmosphere. London is not the only city reporting it. The telegrams may be wrong. From Paris, Madrid, Amsterdam." Jonathan did not answer. The room glowed amber, but the windows had become black mirrors. Mina saw her own reflection, pale face, dark hair, eyes made older by memories she rarely spoke aloud. Behind that reflection, another figure appeared. Tall, thin, motionless. Mina turned. There was no one in the room. She looked back at the glass. The figure remained. Its face was colorless, its eyes red within the reflection. Its lips moved. Mina heard no sound, yet a sentence formed inside her mind. "The door is open." She stumbled away from the window. Jonathan caught her arm. "What is it?" "Nothing." "You saw something." Mina pressed one hand to her throat. The scar there had faded years ago, but now it burned as though 2 cold needles had entered her flesh. "It was only my reflection." Jonathan looked toward the window. He could see nothing but himself, Mina, and the room behind them. Then someone knocked at the front door. 3 hard blows. Jonathan reached for the revolver he kept locked in the desk. The visitor was Dr. John Seward. He entered without removing his coat, carrying a leather bag stuffed with notebooks and telegrams. Rain had begun outside, though the clouds were invisible against the unnatural sky. "I came as soon as Van Helsing contacted me," Seward said. "He is on his way from Amsterdam." "Then he believes this is not astronomical," said Jonathan. "He believes astronomy is only the stage upon which something else is occurring." Seward looked at Mina. His expression changed. You felt him. It was not a question. Jonathan's grip tightened around the revolver. He is dead. We believed him dead, Seward replied. We saw him fall. We saw him become dust. With Dracula, the distinction may matter. Mina sat beside the extinguished fireplace. What did Professor Van Helsing say? Only that the darkness began over the places where Dracula once left his mark. Transylvania, Whitby, London, Amsterdam. The pattern is spreading outward. A gust struck the house. The lamps flickered. From the street came the sound of running footsteps. Jonathan went to the window. A crowd was moving toward the church. What are they doing? Mina asked. Praying, perhaps. Another sound rose behind the church bells. Wings. Not the irregular flutter of birds, but thousands of synchronized beats. The sky seemed to move. A black cloud passed above the roofs, blotting out even the stars. Bats. Seward shut the curtains. In the asylum, he said quietly, 3 patients began shouting before the eclipse. They all said the same thing. Mina already knew the words. Nevertheless, she asked, what did they say? Seward looked toward the window. The king is awake. That night, if it could be called night, no one in England slept with ease. At midnight, the clocks announced a darkness indistinguishable from noon. And through the fields outside Exeter, wolves were heard where no wolves had lived for hundreds of years. Chapter 2. The Count walks at noon. The first confirmed sighting came from Whitechapel. A constable named Arthur Clay reported seeing a tall foreign gentleman walking alone at 1:30 in the afternoon. The man wore black and carried no lamp. His face was plainly visible in the strange silver radiance around the eclipsed sun. Clay approached and asked whether he required assistance. The gentleman answered, "It is you who require assistance." The constable later claimed that every door on the street opened at once. Men and women stepped into the road. Some wore burial clothes. Some were caked with earth. One had been dead for 20 years and was recognized by his own grandson. Clay fled. By the time the police returned, the street was empty. Similar reports followed. A dead child was seen outside a school in Chelsea. A woman buried in Highgate walked into her former home and stood silently at the foot of her husband's bed. In Hampstead, a pale figure attacked a milkman, but fled when bells rang from a nearby church. Not all the returned dead possessed bodies. Some appeared in mirrors, others spoke through the mouths of sleepers. Lucy Westenra came back as fog. Mina dreamed she was standing upon the cliff at Whitby. Below her, the sea was black and perfectly still. The wreck of the Demeter lay on the shore, though years had passed since the ship's arrival. Someone sat upon their old bench. Lucy wore white. Her golden hair moved in a wind Mina could not feel. She looked exactly as she had before illness, death, and the terrible nights that followed. No wounds marked her breast. No blood stained her lips. Mina approached slowly. "Lucy." Her friend smiled. "Oh, Mina, you kept me waiting." Mina fell to her knees and embraced her. Lucy's body was cold, but it was solid. For a moment, Mina forgot everything except the scent of her hair and the sound of her voice. Then Lucy whispered, "He has done a marvelous thing." Mina pulled away. Lucy's eyes were red. "The sun will return," Mina said. "Do you want it to?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because the world cannot live without it. I could not live beneath it. You are dead. I was dead." Lucy stood and walked toward the edge of the cliff. Men praised the dawn because it belonged to them. They called us wicked because we flourished in darkness, but now the world has changed. "He murdered you." Lucy turned. Her expression carried neither anger nor forgiveness. "Men killed me too." Mina remembered the stake, the tomb, the dreadful peace upon Lucy's face when it was done. "We freed you." "Perhaps, but did anyone ask what I wanted?" The sea below began to rise without waves. It climbed the cliff like a black wall. Lucy extended her hand. "Come with me. You have carried his blood longer than any of them know. The darkness feels it." Mina looked down. 2 small drops of blood had appeared on Lucy's palm. They rose into the air and floated toward Mina. She woke screaming. Jonathan was beside her. Seward and Van Helsing stood in the doorway. Professor Abraham Van Helsing seemed older than Mina remembered. His shoulders had stooped, and more of his hair had become white, but his eyes remained fierce. "What did she say?" he asked. Jonathan protested, "Give her time." "There is no time. The shadow grows while clocks pretend otherwise." Mina told them everything. When she finished, Van Helsing made the sign of the cross. "Lucy is not returned as before," he said. "She is formed by memory, hers, yours, and his." "Can she hurt Mina?" Jonathan asked. "Yes." "Can we destroy her?" "Perhaps, but that is not first question." "What is?" Van Helsing looked at Mina. "Why does Dracula wish her to come?" At that same hour in Carfax Abbey, Count Dracula stood before an assembly of the dead. They filled the ruined nave and spilled into the courtyard. Some were ancient creatures that had followed him from Eastern Europe. Others had risen only hours earlier, bewildered by their hunger. Above them, the black sun hung like an empty eye. Dracula raised one hand. The murmuring ceased. "For centuries," he said, "we have hidden beneath the earth while cattle walked beneath the heavens. We have fled before dawn. We have slept while lesser beings divided our lands and called themselves kings." He turned his face upward. "No more." A cry rose from the assembly. Dracula's voice became thunder. "The age of man was measured by the sun. The age of the vampire shall have no measure." From crypts, tunnels, mansions, and graveyards, the dead answered him. Their voices passed beneath the streets like an earthquake. London trembled. Chapter 3. The Kingdom of Night. On the 3rd day, Parliament declared a state of emergency. Factories were ordered to remain open, though coal consumption doubled as temperatures fell. Schools closed. Railways carried frightened families toward the south until reports arrived that France and Spain were also dark. There was nowhere to flee. The government instructed citizens to conserve food and fuel. Soldiers guarded warehouses. Churches remained open at all hours, though the meaning of all hours had begun to collapse. Clocks became tyrants. At 8 in the morning, men rose beneath stars. At noon, children ate by candlelight. At sunset, nothing changed. People began sleeping at irregular intervals. Shopkeepers remained open until exhaustion overcame them. Workers reported for shifts on the wrong day. Railway collisions occurred because signalmen could no longer trust their senses. Only the black sun remained constant. It could be seen through clouds, roofs, even closed eyelids. The silver corona never faded. Those who stared too long claimed they saw shapes moving within the darkness. On the 4th day, the first proclamation appeared. Sheets of ivory paper had been nailed to doors throughout London. They bore no government seal. At the top was the image of a dragon curled around a crown. Beneath it were 7 commandments. No vampire was to kill a child. No household was to be visited more than once in 7 days. No human was to be drained beyond recovery. No feeding was permitted without registration. Those who obeyed would receive protection. Those who resisted would be given to the hungry dead. At the bottom was a single name: Dracula. "He is rationing us," Jonathan said. He tore the proclamation from the wall of Seward's asylum. "He is preserving us," Mina replied. Jonathan looked at her sharply. I mean, that is how he sees it. Humans are not subjects in his kingdom. We are livestock. Van Helsing had converted the asylum's chapel into a place of study. Maps covered the walls. Telegrams and newspaper reports were arranged according to date and location. At the center stood a map of Europe. A black stain now covered the British Isles, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, most of Germany, and northern Spain. The shadow advances at approximately 40 miles each night, said Seward. Jonathan frowned. Each night. According to the clocks. Van Helsing placed a pin in the Atlantic. Ships here report sun still visible. Ships here report eclipse. By tomorrow, darkness reaches farther. What happens when it covers the world? Mina asked. No one answered. A bell rang outside. Not a church bell. A handbell. One slow chime, repeated again and again. Van Helsing extinguished the lamps. Through a slit in the curtains, Jonathan saw a carriage stop before the asylum. It was drawn by 4 black horses. The driver's seat was empty. Count Dracula stepped down. He wore a dark red coat and carried a silver-headed cane. He looked less like a monster than an ambassador arriving at a royal court. Soldiers guarding the asylum raised their rifles. Dracula did not slow. Fire, shouted the captain. The rifles flashed. The count vanished into mist. Bullets struck the carriage and horses, though the animals did not bleed. The mist passed through the iron gates. Dracula reappeared in the courtyard. The soldiers fled. Jonathan opened the chapel door before Van Helsing could stop him. Dracula stood 20 feet away. Years of fear and hatred returned to Jonathan in a single breath. He remembered the castle, the locked doors, the women, the wolves, the terrible journey home. You should have remained dust, he said. Dracula smiled. And you should have remained a prisoner. Jonathan fired. The bullet entered Dracula's chest. The count glanced down at the hole in his coat as if mildly disappointed. Mina stepped into the courtyard. Dracula's smile vanished. For the first time, something like weariness appeared in his face. Wilhelmina, you will not call me that. It is your name. Not in your mouth. Van Helsing emerged holding a crucifix. Dracula recoiled but did not flee. What have you done? The professor demanded. I have corrected an ancient injustice. You have wounded the heavens. The heavens wounded me first. You cannot command the sun. Look upward. Van Helsing raised the crucifix. Dracula's skin smoked, yet he remained standing. I did not come to fight, the count said. There are creatures in London who lack my discipline. They remember hunger better than obedience. Your people are safer under my law than under the law of appetite. We will never accept your protection, said Jonathan. Then you will accept extinction. Mina studied him. You need something. Dracula looked at her. If you had already won, you would not have come. For a heartbeat, his expression hardened. Then he laughed softly. You always saw farther than the men around you. Why are you here? The ritual is not complete. Van Helsing lowered the crucifix slightly. What remains? Dracula's gaze did not leave Mina. A witness who has carried both daylight and my blood. Jonathan stepped between them. No. Dracula returned to the carriage. The shadow will cover the world with or without her, but whether anything survives beneath it depends upon what she chooses. The driverless carriage moved away. Mina watched until it disappeared into the fog. In her mind, she heard Lucy singing an old song from their childhood. Beneath Lucy's voice came another sound. Millions of people breathing in darkness. Chapter 4. The Woman in the Fog. By the end of the first week, London began to starve. The markets still contained food, but panic created shortages faster than darkness could. Bread wagons were attacked. Coal merchants hired armed guards. Families burned furniture after exhausting their fuel. Plants placed beneath electric lamps survived for a time. Fields did not. Leaves curled, flowers closed and never reopened. Wheat bent toward a sun it could no longer find. Chickens ceased laying eggs. Cattle became restless and sick. The Thames carried dead fish toward the sea. Dr. Seward's asylum filled with patients who had committed no crime and suffered from no ordinary disease. They simply could not endure a world without mourning. One man insisted that the sun had never existed. Another clawed out his eyes because the black circle remained visible whenever he closed them. A mother brought in a child who had not slept for 4 days. The boy whispered continuously to someone inside the wall. "What does he say?" Seward asked. The mother wept. "He says the dead are teaching him how to live at night." Renfield's old room had remained empty for years. On the 8th day, the attendants found its door open. Flies covered the walls. In the center of the floor, arranged in careful letters, were the words, "Life eats life." Seward sealed the room. That evening, Mina returned to Whitby in her dreams. Lucy waited on the bench. This time she wore the white burial dress in which she had risen from her tomb. 2 wounds stained the fabric above her heart. "You remember," Mina said. "I remember everything." "Then you remember what he made you." Lucy smiled sadly. "And what all of you made me afterward." Mina sat beside her. "I loved you. I know. We thought your soul was trapped. Perhaps it was, perhaps it still is." The sea below the cliff had frozen. Ships stood imprisoned in black ice. Lucy rested her head against Mina's shoulder, as she had in younger days. "Do you remember when we spoke of marriage?" she asked. "How frightened we were of choosing wrongly. You wanted a life of usefulness. I wanted everyone to be happy. You had 3 proposals in one day, and thought it a terrible tragedy." For a moment they laughed. Then Lucy said, "The sun returned every morning, yet we believed our lives would last forever. Come back with me." "I cannot. You are not merely his memory." "No, I am yours as well. That is why I can speak against him." Mina turned to her. "Against Dracula." Lucy nodded. "He believes the darkness belongs to him. It does not. Something older has answered his call." The frozen sea cracked. A red glow appeared far below the ice, like an eye opening in the deep. What answered? The first shadow. Mina felt the dream trembling around them. "Dracula did not stop the sun," Lucy continued. "He opened a door between the world and the place where light goes when it dies. The shadow is hungry. It feeds upon sunlight now. Soon it will feed upon memory." Memory. When no one remembers mourning, the door can never be closed. Lucy gripped Mina's hand. "You must come to Carfax before the last child forgets the color of the sky." The black ice shattered. Hands emerged from the sea. Thousands of pale arms reached upward. Mina woke in the chapel with Lucy's handprint burned into her wrist. Van Helsing examined the mark. "She tries to help you." Jonathan stared at him. "You trust that creature." "I trust love to survive in forms evil does not understand." Mina told them about the first shadow. Van Helsing crossed the room to an ancient volume obtained from a monastery in Romania. Its pages were made of skin. On one was an illustration of a black sun surrounded by kneeling figures. "I found this before coming to England," he said. "It speaks of umbra prima, the shadow before creation. Not darkness as absence of light, but darkness that consumes light." "Can it be closed?" Seward asked. Van Helsing translated the Latin beneath the image. "Blood opened, blood commands, blood surrendered closes." Dracula's blood, said Mina. Yes. Jonathan looked relieved. Then we kill him. No. Van Helsing turned the page. The next illustration showed a dead king lying beneath a black sun. From his chest grew a tree made of shadow, its branches covering the earth. If he dies before the blood is willingly surrendered, the doorway remains. His death would seal the eclipse in place. Jonathan's face changed. We have to keep him alive. Yes. A crash sounded from the main hall. Then a scream. Seward seized a lamp. Jonathan drew his knife. They rushed from the chapel. The front doors had been torn from their hinges. 3 pale figures crouched over a fallen attendant. Their mouths were red. Behind them stood a broad-shouldered vampire wearing the remains of a military uniform. Dracula protects the cattle, he said. We do not. Jonathan charged. The battle lasted less than a minute. Van Helsing pressed a consecrated wafer against one attacker's forehead. Seward drove a broken chair leg through another's chest. The third climbed the wall like an insect before sunlight from a magnesium flare consumed her. The soldier seized Mina. His teeth touched her throat. Then he froze. Dracula stood in the doorway. The Count's eyes burned. I gave a command. The soldier released Mina and bowed. We are hungry. You are disobedient. We are free. Dracula moved faster than sight. His hand entered the soldier's chest and emerged holding a black, motionless heart. The vampire collapsed into ash. Dracula let the heart fall. Around him, the remaining dead fled into the corridors. Mina touched her throat. You saved me. You belong to no one's hunger but mine. Jonathan lunged, but Mina stopped him. Dracula looked toward Van Helsing's book. So, he said, you have learned the price. The eclipse will destroy you too, Mina said. The Count's expression remained calm. Kings do not abandon their kingdoms because winter comes. This will not be winter, it will be death. Then I shall rule death. You already tried that. For the first time, anger cracked his composure. The lamps flared blue. You know nothing of what I have endured. I know you are afraid of the dawn. Dracula's face became ancient. Not merely old, but exhausted by centuries of hate. He vanished into a swarm of bats. On the floor where he had stood lay one drop of blood. It moved by itself, crawling toward the shadow beneath the door. Chapter 5. The Hunger Beneath London. The vampires rebelled on the 10th day. They rose from tunnels, crypts, plague pits, and forgotten burial grounds. Some had slept beneath London since Roman times. Others had crossed the sea after sensing the endless night. Dracula's laws meant nothing to them. They attacked hospitals first. Blood banks did not yet exist, but hospitals contained the injured, the weak, and those unable to flee. Nurses barricaded doors. Doctors carried crosses and surgical knives. Churches became shelters until the dead learned to enter through roofs and drains. The government ordered soldiers to shoot anyone moving without a lantern. Hundreds of innocent people died. The darkness made every living man look guilty. Dracula fought his own kind from midnight until noon, though the words had become ceremonial. Witnesses saw him upon the roof of St. Paul's Cathedral, tearing the wings from a creature older than the church beneath them. They saw wolves follow him through Trafalgar Square. They saw him command mist to fill the underground, suffocating the rebellious dead. Yet every vampire he destroyed reduced the number of mouths competing for blood. Mina wondered whether he defended humanity or merely protected his supply. Perhaps Dracula no longer knew. Van Helsing's group traveled to Carfax beneath military escort. Their purpose was not to kill the Count, but to force him to reverse the ritual. The irony poisoned every mile. London had become a city from a nightmare. Statues wore frost. Families huddled around fires built in the streets. The wealthy had fled into private shelters. The poor crowded churches. Men sold bottles of artificial sunlight containing nothing but phosphorus and water. Above it all hung the black sun. At Carfax, they found Dracula seated upon a throne made from the remains of the ruined altar. The nave was empty. No servants attended him. His clothing was torn from battle, and dried blood marked one side of his face. "You have come to surrender," he said. "To negotiate," Mina answered. "With what?" "The truth." Dracula smiled without humor. "Truth is the final coin of the powerless." Van Helsing placed the ancient book before him. "You know what the shadow is. I know what priests feared it to be. It consumes more than light. It consumes weakness. It consumes memory," Mina said. That silenced him. "People are already forgetting the sun," she continued. "Soon they will forget the day. When that happens, you will forget it too." "I forget nothing." "What color was the sunrise over your first battlefield?" Dracula stared at her. Mina stepped closer. "You told Jonathan about your wars. You told him how your people fought beneath banners while enemies came from every direction. What color was the dawn?" The Count's lips parted. No answer came. "What did sunlight feel like when you were alive?" Mina asked. His eyes flickered. "Warm." "What kind of warmth?" He rose. "Enough. You cannot remember." Dracula crossed the distance between them and gripped her throat. Jonathan raised his knife, but Van Helsing held him back. Mina did not resist. The Count's fingers were cold. "You think memory makes you strong," Dracula whispered. "Memory is a chain fastened to a grave." "Then why did you keep your native soil?" His grip tightened. "Why return to your castle? Why speak a language no one else remembers? Why carry the name of a dead father?" Dracula released her. Mina fell to her knees, coughing. Jonathan rushed to her side. The Count turned away. "The shadow eats the sun," Mina said. "Then it eats the memory of the sun. At last it will eat every creature that ever lived beneath it. You have not created a kingdom. You have invited a famine into the world." Dracula stood beneath the broken roof. The eclipse shone above him. "What do you want?" "End it. And burn." "Yes." Jonathan looked at Mina, surprised by the hardness of her answer. Dracula laughed. It was a terrible, empty sound. "You ask a prince to die for peasants who would hammer iron through his heart. I ask nothing for humanity." He looked back. "I ask whether Count Dracula will allow another creature to take his world from him." The smile vanished. Before he could answer, the abbey doors exploded inward. A wave of vampires poured into the nave. At their head was a woman in white. Lucy. She walked through smoke and falling stone, beautiful and terrible. Her hair floated around her as though underwater. "Mina," she said, "you should not have come." Arthur Holmwood, Lord Godalming, had not accompanied them. Had he seen Lucy, he might have died from grief before her teeth touched him. Mina stepped forward. "Are you here to serve Dracula?" Lucy looked toward the Count. "No, we are here to replace him." The rebellious dead surrounded the throne. Their leader was no longer the military vampire Dracula had destroyed. It was the shadow itself, speaking through every mouth. "Night needs no king," they said together. Dracula drew himself upright. "But you will have one." The battle began. Chapter 6. Van Helsing's impossible duty. Van Helsing had spent his life preparing to kill monsters. He had never prepared to save one. When the vampires rushed Dracula, the professor raised a crucifix and shouted words from rituals older than the church. White fire passed through the nave. Several creatures recoiled, but others climbed across the walls and ceiling. Jonathan dragged Mina behind an overturned stone bench. Seward fired until his revolver clicked empty. Lucy walked calmly through the violence. She did not attack. The other vampires avoided her, as though she occupied a place between their rebellion and Dracula's authority. The Count became wolf, mist, bat, and man in the space of seconds. His claws opened throats. His voice shattered glass, yet his enemies were countless. A vampire sank its teeth into his shoulder. Another drove a sword through his back. For the first time, Mina saw fear in Dracula's face. Not fear of death. Fear that he might die before choosing it. "Professor," she shouted. Van Helsing understood. He charged toward Dracula with the crucifix held before him. The Count recoiled from the sacred object, directly into Jonathan's reach. "Forgive me," Jonathan said. He plunged his knife into Dracula's chest, but not his heart. The blade pinned the Count to a wooden pillar. Dracula roared. Van Helsing scattered consecrated wafers in a circle around him. The attacking vampires could not cross. "You dare imprison me," Dracula demanded. "I preserve you. Release me. If you die, the world dies with you." Dracula pulled against the knife, but the circle trapped him. The vampires turned upon the humans. Lucy reached Mina first. Jonathan tried to intervene. Lucy struck him aside with one hand. She took Mina's face between her palms. "Listen to me," Lucy said. Around them, Van Helsing and Seward fought for their lives. "You said the shadow was dangerous," Mina replied. "It is." "Then help us stop it." "I cannot." "Why?" "Because when the sun returns, I disappear." Her voice was no longer seductive or inhuman. It was Lucy's voice, the voice of a young woman afraid of dying. "I remember the tomb," she said. "I remember waking inside it. I remember Arthur driving the stake into me. I remember looking at all of you and knowing you believed you were saving me." Tears filled her red eyes. "I remember the darkness afterward, not this darkness, nothingness, no dreams, no time. Then the eclipse called my name and I was here again." Mina touched her friend's cheek. "I do not want to lose you." "Then let the night remain. Everyone will die. Everyone dies beneath the sun as well. But they live first." Lucy looked toward the broken windows. Outside, starving people fled through the streets. "I am alive now. You are afraid now. That is not the same thing." Pain crossed Lucy's face. "You always knew the cruel thing to say kindly. I learned from loving you." A vampire lunged toward Mina. Lucy seized it and tore off its head. The body collapsed into smoke. Other vampires recoiled from her. Lucy faced the shadow-filled congregation. "No one touches her." The creatures hissed. Their mouths spoke together. "Memory belongs to us." Lucy's form flickered. Mina saw fog beneath her skin. The shadow was consuming her from within. Lucy turned to Dracula. "End it." The Count stared at her from inside the sacred circle. "You led them here. I wanted to live. You are dead. So are you." Dracula's face twisted. Lucy continued. "The difference is that I remember why life mattered." The black sun pulsed. All the vampires screamed. The shadow poured from their mouths and gathered beneath the ceiling, forming a vast shape without eyes. The silver corona above Carfax dimmed. Van Helsing looked upward. "It no longer needs the moon's image," he said. "It has fed enough." "How long do we have?" asked Seward. "Before what?" "Before it covers the world." The professor listened to the sound coming from the sky. 3 days, perhaps less. Dracula tore Jonathan's knife from his chest. Blood spilled down his coat. The sacred circle remained, but the Count no longer fought it. "What must be done?" he asked. Van Helsing opened the book. "The ritual must be reversed where the shadow first touched the earth." "Carfax," said Jonathan. "No," Dracula replied. "That is where I bound it, not where it first entered." "Where then?" asked Mina. Dracula looked east, beyond London, beyond Europe. "My castle." Chapter 7. The City That Forgot Mourning. They left London by military train. The government had little reason to trust Dracula, but less reason to refuse. Telegraph messages from every continent described the approaching shadow. New York had lost the sun, then Cairo, then Bombay. Only portions of the Pacific remained in daylight. The final sunset traveled westward across the world as millions watched. No sunrise followed it. The train passed through villages where clocks had been destroyed. Some citizens believed time itself had ended. Others celebrated the darkness and attacked anyone who spoke of restoring the sun. At the coast, they boarded a naval vessel bound for the continent. Dracula remained inside an iron compartment lined with consecrated symbols. The protection was necessary not to keep him from escaping, but to keep the shadow from entering him. Mina visited him alone. He sat upon the floor beside a box of Transylvanian earth. "You have become the prisoner again," she said. "I have always been a prisoner. Even in your castle. Especially there." The ship moved through frozen water. Ice had begun forming far south of its natural boundary. Mina sat opposite him. "Tell me about the sunrise." Dracula glared at her. "Why? So you do not forget. I need no nursemaid. Then consider me your tormentor." A faint smile touched his lips. For the next hour, Mina made him speak. At first, his answers were reluctant, then the memories came. He described dawn over the Carpathians when he was a child. Red light upon snow, smoke rising from village chimneys, his mother singing near a window. He remembered sunlight on steel before battle. He remembered a field of yellow flowers where his brother had been buried. He remembered the warmth of a woman's hand in a garden long since turned to dust. "Who was she?" Mina asked. Dracula's eyes closed. "I do not remember her name." "Try." The ship shuddered. A voice whispered through the metal walls. "Forget." Dracula opened his eyes. The red had spread across them. "It is inside the vessel," he said. The lamps went out. Something struck the compartment door from the other side. Mina heard sailors shouting. Gunfire followed, then silence. The iron door bent inward. Dracula stood. "Break the circle," he ordered. "If I do, the shadow can possess you. If you do not, it kills everyone aboard." Another blow bent the door farther. Black liquid seeped through the seams. It spread across the floor, avoiding the consecrated markings surrounding Dracula. Mina took a knife and cut her palm. She smeared blood across one of the symbols. The circle opened. Dracula became mist and passed through the door. Mina followed into chaos. Shadows had risen from the sailors' bodies. They wore the men like clothing, forcing them to attack one another. Jonathan fought two possessed officers. Van Helsing shouted prayers over the engine room hatch. Dracula swept across the deck. Where his mist touched a possessed sailor, the shadow left the body and joined the cloud above the ship. The cloud grew larger. "It is using him," Mina shouted. Dracula returned to human form. The shadow entered his mouth. He fell to his knees. For a moment, the black sun vanished from the sky. Then it appeared inside his eyes. Dracula rose. When he spoke, millions of voices spoke with him. There was never a sun. Van Helsing raised the crucifix. The possessed count walked through its light. His skin burned, but the shadow kept him moving. Jonathan seized Mina. "Stay back." She pulled free. Dracula reached the center of the deck. Above him, the blackness widened until no stars remained. Mina stood before him. "What was her name?" she asked. His hand closed around her throat. "The woman in the garden," Mina said. "What was her name?" The shadow answered. "There was no garden." "What flowers grew there?" "There were no flowers." Dracula lifted Mina from the deck. She could not breathe. Still, she forced out one word. "Yellow." The Count froze. A tear of blood ran from his eye. "Her name," Mina whispered. His grip loosened. The blackness around him trembled. Dracula's mouth moved. "Elisabetta." The shadow screamed. Light did not return, but stars reappeared above the ship. Dracula collapsed. Mina fell beside him, gasping. The shadow retreated into the sea. Van Helsing knelt over the Count. "Memory is weapon," he said. Dracula looked at Mina. "You brought her back to me." "No," Mina replied. "I reminded you that you had forgotten her." The Count turned his face away. By the time the ship reached the continent, every country on Earth had lost the sun. The last natural light vanished over a small island in the Pacific. Humanity entered its first day without dawn. Chapter 8. The Price of Dawn. They traveled east through a dying world. Snow fell in summer. Forests stood silent. Birds dropped from branches. Wolves followed the train but did not attack. They were too weak from hunger. Cities burned their libraries for heat. Governments collapsed. Borders disappeared because there was no longer anything on either side worth guarding. Refugees moved south, though the south was as cold and dark as the north. Yet everywhere they went, people had begun to tell stories of the sun. Some stories were true, others had become myths. Children were told that the sun was a golden bird, a sleeping god, a great furnace built by ancient engineers, a hole in heaven through which God watched the earth. Mina wrote down every story. She feared that if the last accurate memory disappeared, the shadow would become permanent. At last, the mountains of Transylvania rose before them. Castle Dracula stood upon its cliff, untouched by snow. No frost covered its walls. The darkness around it was warm. Thousands of vampires waited in the valley. They had come from every continent, kings of forgotten tombs, queens preserved beneath deserts, children buried during plagues, creatures that had never possessed human names. They knelt as Dracula approached. "Why do they not attack?" Jonathan asked. "They are waiting to see which king returns," said Van Helsing. Dracula climbed the steps alone. Mina followed. Jonathan caught her arm. "If he enters that castle, he may regain all his strength. He will need it. And if he decides not to end the eclipse, then I will make him decide." Inside, nothing had changed since Jonathan's imprisonment. Dust lay upon tables. Ancient tapestries moved in windless corridors. Doors opened onto rooms that should not have fit inside the castle. Dracula led Mina into a chapel carved beneath the mountain. At its center was the original basin of earth. Unlike the basin at Carfax, this one was made of stone. Its surface was carved with the image of a dragon swallowing the sun. Dracula removed his coat. The scars across his chest had begun to glow. "The ritual was first attempted by an ancestor of mine," he said. "He wished to hide his army from an invading force. The darkness lasted 1 hour. When light returned, every soldier in the valley was dead." "Why did you believe you could control it?" "Because I am not my ancestor." That has been the excuse of every proud man, repeating an old disaster. He looked almost amused. "Van Helsing has taught you well." "No, you did." The Count placed both hands upon the basin. The castle trembled. Far above, the black sun moved directly over the tower. "What must I do?" Mina asked. "Witness." "What does that mean?" "You carry my blood, but you still belong to daylight. You must speak the memories the shadow has consumed, while I return the blood that opened the gate. And then the sun will concentrate upon the place where the gate closes." "Upon you?" "Yes." Mina studied his face. "You sound calm." "I have died before." "Not willingly." His eyes met hers. "No." Outside, the vampires began to chant. The words were not in any human language. The sound passed through the mountain and shook dust from the ceiling. "They do not want mourning," Mina said. "They have mistaken endless appetite for freedom." "You taught them that?" "Yes." The admission surprised her. Dracula drew a long knife. Its blade was black. Before he could cut his palm, Lucy appeared beside the basin. Her form was faint now. The walls could be seen through her white dress. "Mina!" The knife lowered. Lucy approached her. "Do not let him do this. You told him to end it." "I was afraid, now I understand." "Understand what?" "If the sun returns, all of us disappear. Not only the vampires who rose during the eclipse, every soul the shadow carried back. Mothers, children, lovers, millions have seen their dead again. They are memories. Is that less real than flesh?" Mina could not answer. Lucy took her hands. "You can have me back. Arthur can have me back. Dracula can have his Elisabetta. Every grave can open. No one need lose anyone again." Outside the chapel, voices joined the vampires' chant. Human voices. Mina saw visions in the stone basin. Across the world, the dead had returned to their families. Soldiers embraced sons killed in war. Mothers held children lost to illness. Old men spoke to wives buried 50 years earlier. The shadow had learned the shape of love. That made it more dangerous than hunger. "You are not Lucy," Mina said. Pain crossed her friend's face. "I am everything she remembered. And everything I remember." "Yes." But Lucy was more than our memories. The apparition began to weep. "So you will kill me because I am not enough." Mina embraced her. "No, I will let you go because I love what you truly were." Lucy clung to her. "I am frightened." "So am I. I do not want nothingness again. Perhaps there is something beyond it." "Do you believe that?" "I must." Lucy drew back. For one instant, her eyes were blue again. "Tell Arthur I remembered him." "I will." Lucy kissed Mina's forehead. Then she turned to Dracula. "Do it before I become afraid again." The chapel doors burst open. The vampires entered. Their mouths were filled with shadow. Chapter 9. The War Before Dawn. Jonathan met the first vampire upon the chapel steps. He drove his blade beneath its ribs and pushed it backward into Van Helsing's consecrated barrier. White flame consumed the creature. Seward fired from behind a stone column. Lord Godalming, who had joined them at the Romanian border, fought with the stake he had once used upon Lucy. Then he saw her. Arthur stopped. The battle disappeared from his awareness. Lucy stood beside Mina, pale and translucent. "Arthur," she said. A vampire struck him across the face. Lucy screamed and threw the creature into the wall. Arthur rose slowly. "Is it truly you?" "As much as I can be." He approached, tears running down his face. "I have prayed every night to see you again. I know. I never forgave myself. You freed me." "Did I?" Lucy looked at Mina. "At first I did not know, now I do." Arthur reached toward her, but his hand passed through hers. The shadow inside the attacking vampire surged. They moved as one body, climbing over one another toward the basin. Dracula cut his palm. Black blood fell into the stone. The mountain groaned. A crack appeared in the black sun. For the first time in 30 days, a thread of true sunlight touched the earth. It struck the castle tower. Every vampire screamed. Lucy's form flickered. "No!" cried the shadow through 1,000 mouths. The dead rushed Dracula. Van Helsing stepped between them and raised the ancient book. "Light was before shadow," he shouted. "Life was before hunger, mourning was before fear." The words slowed the creatures, but could not stop them. Jonathan fought beside Arthur. Seward dragged the wounded away. Mina stood at the basin, speaking every memory of daylight she possessed. The sun upon the sea at Whitby. Another crack opened above. Morning through the windows of my childhood home. A beam struck the mountains. Jonathan returning alive. The castle shook. Lucy laughing in the garden. Lucy smiled as light passed through her. Dracula cut his other palm. Blood filled the carved dragon's mouth. The shadow emerged from every corner of the chapel. It gathered above the basin, taking the form of a giant crowned figure. Its face was Dracula's. "You ask Him to die for those who hate Him," it said. Mina answered, "No, I ask him to defeat you. He is us." Dracula's hands trembled. The shadow showed him visions. A throne beneath eternal stars. Human cities kneeling. No coffins, no dawn, no flight from mourning. Then another vision appeared. A yellow garden. A woman turned toward him. Elisabetta. She smiled and held out her hand. Dracula stopped bleeding into the basin. The cracks in the sun began to close. Mina saw the temptation in his face. "Is she real?" Dracula asked. The shadow answered in her voice. "My love." He stepped away from the basin. The eclipsed sun became whole again. "Dracula!" Van Helsing shouted. The Count ignored him. Elisabetta stood within the shadow, warm and alive. She wore a yellow dress. Sunlight surrounded her, though the world possessed none. "You have suffered enough," she said. "Come to me." Dracula reached for her. Mina seized his wounded hand. "That is not the woman you loved." He struck her. Mina fell against the basin. Blood filled her mouth. Jonathan shouted her name, but vampires separated them. Dracula approached the apparition. Elisabetta touched his face. Mina forced herself upright. What color were her eyes? Dracula did not respond. What color were they? Blue. The apparition's eyes became blue. What song did she sing? A melody began. Dracula's face softened. Mina spat blood onto the floor. You told it. The melody stopped. You gave the shadow every answer, she continued. It did not bring her back. It listened to your memories and built a prison from them. Elisabetta's face changed. For a moment it became Lucy, then Mina, then every victim Dracula had ever loved or destroyed. The Count's expression filled with rage. The apparition reached for him. Come to me. Dracula seized its wrist. You are not she. The shadow screamed. Its beautiful form melted into darkness. Dracula dragged it toward the basin. Every vampire in the chapel convulsed. You fed upon my hatred, the Count said. You wore my grief. You called yourself Night because you believed Night had no master. The shadow tore into his arms. Flesh vanished from his bones. Still he held it. I am Dracula. He forced the shadow into the stone basin. Night is mine. Van Helsing shouted to Mina. Speak the final memory. What memory? The first dawn, the first dawn humanity remembers. I was not there. You carry human blood. Speak not what you saw, speak what we are. Mina looked at Jonathan, at Arthur holding Lucy, at Seward defending the wounded, at Van Helsing standing between faith and terror, at Dracula wrestling with the darkness he had released. She placed both hands in the basin. Our first dawn was the moment we understood that darkness ends. The black sun shattered. Chapter 10. The first ray. Light returned all at once. Not gently, not as a pale line upon the horizon. Every ray denied to the world, for 30 days descended upon Castle Dracula. The tower became white fire. Stone turned transparent. Snow vanished from the mountains. Vampires dissolved before they could scream. Lucy stood in Arthur's arms. For one miraculous second, she became solid. Her heart beat. Arthur felt it beneath his hand. Lucy. She touched his cheek. I remembered you. Then sunlight filled her body. She became golden dust. Arthur closed his hands around nothing. The shadow tried to escape the basin, but Dracula held it within. Sunlight poured through him. His skin cracked. Fire spread beneath it. Mina reached toward him. Let go, she cried. If I release it, the eclipse returns. There must be another way. There was always another way. He smiled through the flames. I chose this one. The light grew brighter. His body began to vanish from the feet upward. Van Helsing knelt. Whether from weakness, reverence, or grief, Mina could not tell. Dracula looked at the professor. You hunted me across half the world. Yes. You hated me. Yes. Will you pray for me? Van Helsing's face trembled. I will. The Count turned to Jonathan. I kept your wife from you once. Jonathan held Mina's hand. And failed. Dracula laughed softly. Yes. At last he looked at Mina. The fire had reached his chest. Wilhelmina. She did not correct him. Was it sunlight, he asked, in the garden? She understood. Yes. Was she there? Yes. Did I remember truly? The shadow could imitate her face. It could not imitate your love. For the first time, Dracula looked peaceful. Then I have conquered it. The sun consumed his heart. His body became a column of ash and fire. Within it, Mina glimpsed not a monster, but a mortal warrior standing beneath a red dawn. Then he was gone. The basin cracked. The shadow released one final cry, a sound heard in every country on earth. The black circle disappeared. Morning returned. Across Europe, bells rang. Across Asia, people left shelters and fell to their knees. In Africa, children chased their shadows. In America, crowds gathered in streets and watched color return to the sky. The world did not recover at once. Millions had died from cold, hunger, violence, and fear. Crops had failed. Governments had fallen. Entire towns had vanished. But seeds buried beneath the soil felt warmth. Animals emerged from hiding. Ice broke upon rivers. In London, Professor Harcourt stood beside the Greenwich telescope. He had lost most of his sight from staring at the eclipse, but when sunlight touched his face, he began to laugh. Clocks throughout the city showed different hours. No one cared. For that day, every clock was set to morning. At Castle Dracula, the survivors climbed from the ruins. Arthur carried the empty white dress Lucy had left behind. Seward supported Van Helsing. Jonathan held Mina beneath the rising sun. It is warm, Mina whispered. Jonathan kissed her forehead. Yes. She looked toward the place where Dracula had disappeared. Only a small mound of ash remained. Within it lay a blackened ring, bearing the image of a dragon. Mina picked it up. The metal was warm. Epilogue. A shadow on the sun. Years passed before the world stopped counting time from the eclipse. Historians called it the month without mourning. Scientists proposed theories involving atmospheric dust, unknown magnetic forces, collective hallucination, and disturbances in the fabric of light. None explained the dead. None explained the identical dragon symbol found upon thousands of doors. None explained why every clock in Castle Dracula had stopped at the precise instant of totality. Van Helsing wrote a complete account and sealed it in a silver box. He instructed that it should not be opened until every person who had witnessed the eclipse was dead. Dr. Seward rebuilt his asylum according to a new principle. No patient was to be denied sunlight, companionship, or the dignity of being believed. Arthur never married. Each year, on the anniversary of the restored dawn, he placed yellow flowers upon Lucy's grave. Jonathan and Mina returned to England. They had a son. They named him Quincy, in memory of the brave man who had died during their first struggle against Dracula. The boy grew strong and curious. He loved maps, trains, and stories about distant countries. He was 5 years old when he first asked about the sun. The family had climbed a hill before dawn. It was an annual ritual now. Across the world, people gathered each year to watch morning arrive. Quincy sat upon Jonathan's shoulders, while Mina stood beside them. The horizon became gray, then rose, then gold. Birds began to sing. The first edge of the sun appeared. People across the hillside cheered. Quincy clapped his hands. Mina smiled, though tears filled her eyes. "What is it, mother?" the boy asked. "Nothing, I am happy." He looked at the sun through a darkened viewing glass. "There is a mark on it." Jonathan lowered him. "What mark?" "A little black one." Mina took the glass. At first she saw only the brilliant disk. Then a small shadow appeared near its center. It was too dark to be a cloud and too precise to be a natural mark. As Mina watched, it lengthened into the shape of a man. A high collar, broad shoulders, a face she had hoped never to see again and feared she might one day miss. Its lips moved. No sound crossed the morning air. Yet Mina heard the words inside her mind. "The sun remembers me." The shape disappeared. Mina lowered the glass. "Did you see it?" Jonathan asked. She considered telling him. Then she looked around. The sun warmed the hillside. Quincy chased his own shadow through the grass. Bells rang from the town below. Yellow flowers opened among the stones. Whatever remained of Dracula was trapped within the thing he had hated most. Perhaps it was punishment. Perhaps it was victory. Perhaps, in the final moment, the sunlight had not destroyed him at all, but carried his memory into every dawn that would ever touch the earth. Mina took Jonathan's hand. "What did you see?" he asked again. She watched the sun rise fully above the horizon. "A shadow," she said. "Should we be afraid?" Mina thought of the dead city, the frozen sea, Lucy's final smile, and the count burning as the world awakened. "No," she answered, "not while morning returns." Below them, the bells continued to ring. The darkness withdrew from the fields, and the sun rose.